Welcome back to the Backside Poddy. This week we chat about, we've got a juicy new partnership on the cards. Jim Bob and Freebs, their G2I fueling strategy, my Three Peaks fueling strategy, and we have Elliot joining us from Bikebug.
2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas, and a scotch.
Yes?
500 watts, please.
Now, let's introduce you to the Backsiders. Curto,
Morning.
Jim Bob,
Yeah, huh?
Freebs,
Hello.
and Elliot.
G'day.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Great to be on the pod.
Yeah,
It's good to have you here.
it's a pleasure to have you.
What's been happening last week, Shawnee?
Mate, just putting in the final touches before the racing actually starts for me. Peaks
Is Peaks a race?
Well, for me it is. I'm treating it as a race.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we've got G2I after that with the Pro Velo boys. Then potentially Q Tour. We'll see what's happening there.
geez. You are going to be one cooked vegetable after this.
I'm pretty cooked already, to be honest.
Yeah, mate.
You're boiled.
There's 3 to 4 weeks of fairly heavy racing,
Yeah,
and none of it's light.
none of it's light. And
What's the end goal for Three Peaks? What's the time you're going for?
Under 7, surely.
no, I won't be able to get under 7. That's Mark O'Brien spec, that stuff. But it'd be nice to go low 7s.
Nice.
Methy.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good. Weight's good. Power's good.
Depending on everyone else who turns up, there's no start list before, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Just get to the line and see who's there.
Yeah.
Conditions as well. It's a loop,
mate.
isn't it?
Oh,
So
man.
I saw somewhere. I think Laney posted up somewhere. It's like forecasting for some snow.
Yeah, man. 2 degrees on the start line.
bro.
Yeah, I'll be wrapping myself in newspaper, I reckon.
Mate, we need to have a talk about this one off air because I got absolutely destroyed a couple of years ago on that.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard thing for me is the weather.
We know it's in your shopping cart this week.
Couple
Some
ju-
winter gear.
Castelli.
Couple gelays, bloody,
Castelli
Yeah.
jackets, mate, gloves.
or just raw dog it. Just go down cold.
Nah, mate, trust me.
That will be tragic.
I've done that and I would not recommend it to anyone.
Yeah. Oh, but no, it's good. Feeling pretty good. So looking forward to the taper week.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Mate, how'd
always
you
use
go on the weekend racing?
That was actually a good little sim for me because I rode down to the coast and then went up over Tambo and did like a sub-threshold effort up Tambo and then rocked around Narang for 45 minutes trying to hang on to Rhino and Lambo.
Those boys are flying, eh?
Yeah, they're flying. Rhino was on one, bro. He was on one. I was like, can you calm down, man?
I got the
Like,
lowdown from Lambo this morning.
Yeah.
He's flying.
Yeah, he was good. So,
He reckons he's doing 4 hours training a week to me.
yeah.
Tambo.
After Lakeside.
Miss those days with you, man.
Mate, I was climbing Tambo at midday pretty well.
Magnificent.
And it was
Every
like
motorbike going past you.
motorbikes, cars, going up past through that skywalk. It was like mayhem, man. I was just in my own little world.
Tapping away.
Pedaling away, and there's like a queue of 20 cars behind me. And then this motorbike comes up beside me and goes, "Can you pull over next time, you bloody wank stain?" And I was like, yeah, no.
Thanks for that.
That's a new one.
Jog on, mate. What's been happening in your week, Freebs?
Mate, I'd say it's fairly normal. It's a sort of a cut and paste job, really. But for me, lack of sleep.
Standard week for you, then.
Standard week. I had to travel down to Adelaide for work for 24 hours. So I went to, and this gets me Husband of the Year, this one. I went to the Cause concert on Wednesday night. Does anyone know what the Cause are?
Never heard
Who
of
they
it.
are?
Isn't that a women's rock band or something?
Yeah, there is a brother. He plays the guitar apparently. But yeah, it's an Irish band that
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
from like way back.
Yeah.
And anyway, Amber's dragged me along there, and
They got some classics.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They did. I knew a couple of the songs.
Yeah.
They played a bit of Irish music too. So anyway, I went to that. That was Husband of the Year award.
Did you do some tap dancing while you're at it?
I was doing the Highland Fling, and then we got home at like nearly midnight, and 4:30 I was on the way to the airport. So feeling fantastic. Went all day to Adelaide, and then managed to sneak into the Cervelo boys and catch up with our friends down there. Yep. And they managed to hook me up a seat clamp, the one I destroyed at Tour Down Under. And anyway, I went to work after that, and then went to dinner with some mates. Got home about the same time, about midnight again, and had to be up at 4:30 for another red eye back to Brisbane.
Christ.
And anyway, at 4:30 I started packing my bike AM, and mate, I couldn't find the little axles for the bag. And anyway, I just ended up leaving it there. It's the second time.
It's never coming home.
I don't know if it will. So
was this after you'd had a few beers and you're trying to pack, or was this another?
no, this is the next morning at 4:30 in the morning, trying to do it on 4 hours sleep again, and many bottles of red.
Lovely.
So anyway, I just left the bike there, and anyway, when I got back home, I was like pretty grumpy with myself for not being able to get the thing home, and managed to find the axles in a bag around my desk, and I was like, bloody hell,
Mate.
So it's a pretty standard week, really.
So bike dramas aside, how'd you go at Lakeside, mate?
Well, I got towed around by Fletch, which is pretty handy. He's, you reckon Rhino's on form, mate? I don't know if he'd hold Fletcher's wheel, mate. He's out of control strong.
Well, he just won States triathlon just the other day.
I couldn't
Mate,
believe it.
Every triathlon race he enters, he wins.
Mate,
He's a freak.
That family's just natural.
Yeah. Good on him.
Anyway, he's absolutely flying. So he and I got away with about 10 minutes to go. We just sort of, I did as much as I could to help out, and said to him, mate, it's yours. Just take me to the line, pal. And we agreed to that on a handshake, and
You raised the white flag.
I raised the white flag, and I'll happily take my $20 back that I put into it. That's about it.
Oh, very good. Curtis, what did you get up to, mate?
Mate, my week was pretty stock standard. Just a couple of runs, couple of rides actually. Did 2
Oh, yeah.
rides.
Did the airport loop.
Did airport, did a little river loop, and did 2 runs. Looking really good for Sydney Mara, as you can tell. But no, I was very happy with my bonk on Saturday. I was astounded with how well the bonk is coming back on a Saturday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was 80 minutes.
At
and
threshold.
No, the first 8-9 Ks was 440s, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. And then
That's just a walk in the park.
throw in park run and try and up it to like 4 minutes a K, and geez, I just fell off a cliff straight
Mate,
away.
I've
after
got you
2
covered later in the
Ks.
shopping cart.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
There we go.
Did you have any nutrition to get you through that?
Man, I did not the gummy
banana.
bears, not the gummy bears that I normally do. I actually had to use these sour lifesaver sort of things because
They
it was,
repeated, didn't they?
it was 11 p.m. job. I realised I had no lollies when I was starting to get ready for bed.
And did you stroll into 7-Eleven or something? And
It's called Easy Mart around the corner now from me. And the guy had every lolly but the Haribo gummy bears that I normally have. So yeah.
Man, that's disappointing, hey. How'd you go going to sleep after that? You just stressing out knowing that you don't have the right fuel for your run the next day? Or
I was
I don't
alright.
really care that much.
I wasn't too fussed, mate. You know,
nothing ruffles you, hey?
nothing very. Yeah, not much, mate. Not much. What about you, mate? How was your week?
Well, Kurt, I had a very similar week to my friend Freebs over there. Just probably more of a copy and paste from the week before.
Did you go large?
Yeah, got a few hours in. Yeah.
Tight chain on Sunday, I saw.
Yeah, tight chain on Sunday. Tried to ride everywhere at 300 watts.
Love that.
That's a Sean Moran special, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Put
Juicy.
myself in a hole for this week, though. Tried to do some efforts this morning. I was pedaling backwards.
Oh, man. I was riding the Coother and I was like, might just do a river loop today.
Yeah, you definitely put yourself in a hole on the weekend too, eh?
Yep.
Got out Saturday morning for a Mars. Bit of a small field, but a strong field. Our friends of the show, Maxie Campbell and Declan, went up the road. Me and our mate, friend of the show, Cookie, went for a bit of a squirt for the first preem. And the only way I was going to get Cookie was a real long sprint. But he was wise to it, jumped in the slipstream and got me on the line. And then we were both wrecked because it was such a long sprint.
Yep.
And Maxie and Declan
Straight over the top.
Counter.
straight
love
over
it.
the top. Classic from the boys.
Classic. Great move.
Classic. And man, we held them for a fair while, but then everyone started to get a bit tired, and they ended up riding away with it.
They put a lap on you?
Nah. They were only
Just up the road.
15, 20 seconds up the road.
And you couldn't close it.
Short
Yeah.
little effort, mate.
One of your burners.
In
Jeez,
hindsight,
must have gone
I should
down.
have gone early, but no good, mate. I was pretty cooked.
Lessons.
Always lessons, mate. Always lessons out of racing. So good week.
What about you, Elliot? How's your week been, mate?
Yeah, mate. Pretty standard for me. Getting back into the running, similar to Kurt, doing Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Whee.
Ooh, we got a comp going here. What's the time you going for?
I reckon you might have me covered, but
I don't know, mate. I'm pretty good
He'll
at
bonk for
butchering
sure.
stuff like this. I'm pretty good at butchering stuff.
He was
No,
up late night before, surely.
no, I did Gold Coast a couple of years ago. Did 3:17.
That's really good. Yeah,
So
that's good.
hoping to beat that, I think.
Yeah, you'll get that easy.
Though I haven't been running much over Christmas, so just slowly getting back into it. You know what it's like.
Yeah. No, it's not fun. Those first couple of weeks, you're just like, what am I doing?
Running is a silly sport.
If you're going to start back running or start back riding, I'd definitely start back riding.
Oh,
You have
100%.
The option of the two, you know?
Yeah, 100%. No, it's so jarring on the body, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's been pretty busy for us since TDU, so I know you guys don't talk about work on here, but I think I might be doing a bit of that.
You're different. You're allowed to talk about work. And you used to ride a bit though from my research.
Yeah. I mean, raced on Cobra back in this is 2016, I think, with Mitch Newman and Dave Edwards, Josh Prede.
Mate, Mitch Newman, King of Montville.
That's it. And we before that was with Data 3. So I got to do a few of the Tour of Murray, Tour of Northwest, Tour of Perth back when they were running. And then did Cobra for a season, and yeah, that was it really. Racked it.
Bit like Kurt.
Always racky chance, mate. There's always racky chance. Everywhere you go, someone has to rack it. That's what the sport does. I still remember when I got into riding, people were like, oh, you'll just wake up one day and just not really be interested in riding. And I was just like, nah, like I love riding. I was so into riding every day. I could go to bed at 1 a.m., wake up at 3:30 and just go ride. Mate, if I did that now, I'm like, see you later.
I don't know. It's I just don't have the motivation to put in the training anymore.
Yeah,
I guess like
that is the hard
I
part.
still get out for a few rides a week, but yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's good, mate. It's good, but it's good to have you on the show. Mostly, today's an exciting day for the podcast and the listeners. Where I guess we're announcing our new partnership with Bikebug, which is super exciting. I mean, personally, I think I've run up plenty of items in the shopping cart and checked them out many times.
It's all paid off for you finally, Freebs.
I know it's just payback. Thanks for your patronage. It's like getting a free beer across the bar. Anyway, it's great to have Bikebug as part of it, part of our sponsor team and partnership with Bikebug. It's been a long time coming to get an alignment with the brand that we think could be really good for the podcast and vice versa. And I think our focus into the Brisbane cycling community and abroad is something that aligns really nicely with Bikebug. And we're super stoked to have you guys on. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I've got the shopping cart there, and you guys have got, 44,000 items sitting in the website that anyone can go and get their hands on at any given point in time. And, for me, I'll just spend a lot of time trolling through those wonderful items. But, yeah, we're super happy to have you guys part of it. And, love to learn a bit more about Bikebug, and I'm sure our listeners would as well. So thanks for being part of it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, for you guys, I remember I was in the showroom last year sometime, and a customer stopped me and he said, "Mate, you've got to check out this new podcast." So I tuned in pretty early, maybe two or three episodes in, and I mean, obviously really like the content you guys do, and great to be coming on board. But I mean, Bikebug itself, we haven't even been in Brisbane for too long, a couple of years. It was started back in Sydney. I think Frank started the business in 2004 or 2005, which was
early days.
Very early days. I mean, that's Wiggle Just, maybe Chain Reaction, not too sure, but.
And what was his business model back then in 2004, 2005? Was it like just supplying goods to cyclists, or was it a workshop and supply?
I think it was very early days for e-commerce.
Yeah.
So anything at all was very much doing it yourself. How do we get things up? How do we do anything back in 2004 or 5? And I think a lot of shops were a bit hesitant. They didn't think it would work.
I bet.
And they kind of just got stuck into it, and here we are, 20 years later.
Well, we've just been for a tour through your amazing facility here. I happened to have a look at it last week with you, and to see the boys' reaction today when they walked downstairs into the warehouse and they're just like, "What the heck? This is massive." It's incredibly impressive, and taking us through all the ordering processes and stuff. It's just it's a sight to be seen, and it's a absolute hats off to you guys. You created an amazing business.
Yeah. It's a big operation. I'll say. I mean, downstairs we've got in the warehouse. I mean, a lot of spaces. You guys. So I think it's about 5,000 square meters, and that's 95% of the products you see on our website are all down there. So if it ships from on our website ready to ship, then it's
coming from here.
It'll be picked and ready to go in a couple of hours.
I mean, come and check out at about 7:30 in the morning. It's hectic down there.
I was amazed about that. How it's all just through the earpiece. You know where you're going. AI's got you there.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've never heard of that logistical system before. So
yeah, it's a whole other world.
Yeah.
You're onto something in the future, Bikebug already, hey?
Mate, they're going well.
Mate, they are in the future.
They're living 2050.
Yeah.
We're still in 2025, eh?
Yeah. There'll be little robots getting around soon, I reckon.
Nah, no way.
No.
The unions won't have any of that, mate.
Nah, mate.
And Elliot, what are you hoping to get out of the partnership, obviously, with the Backside in 2025
Yeah, I mean, for us being in Brisbane for a couple of years now, after COVID, obviously hit the bike industry pretty hard. So we're in a bit of a position now where we can start putting some more resources into things like this and hopefully some more local stuff and get get more involved in the Brisbane scene. And great to be on with you guys as well as a starting point for that, and we'll see what we can accomplish together. Yeah,
I feel like Freebs has the perfect segment that really you guys can align with seamlessly.
It's very
almost
selfish.
like it was designed.
It's very
that way.
selfish, I know, but
Look at his little smile. This is just to play it off so Amber's not on his back anymore.
Yeah.
Man, I see Amber every day. I go for a run, wave to her, and she just goes, Freeb's just putting me in the hole here with my credit card because he doesn't work. You're just typing Amber's, are you?
Subsidiary cards, mate.
Just working up those Qantas points, hey?
Ready for a big business class flight somewhere this year, hopefully.
But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of exciting stuff happening in the bike industry, especially this year for us. With Colnago and the way Pog's going, where obviously that has completely changed Colnago, the brand, which is one of the ones we sell. And
back to life.
Yeah. I mean, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have come across too many young people interested in a Colnago. What he's done is obviously amazing, and he's completely turned the brand around, and obviously the new bikes they're bringing out and the Y1 RS that we're all very keen to get eyes on, but hoping to see that soon.
So you guys bring all those into Australia for?
Yeah. So we're getting complete bikes in of those, a few different models as well as frame sets.
Nice.
And you've been selling them up until now? We have them.
We are taking pre-orders, and the uptake has been massive. We've just about allocated half of them. So
wow.
If you want,
you better
one,
be
you
quick.
Get in.
You better be quick.
Man, that Colnago Y1 RS seems to have put a divide down the middle of the cycling world. Like half of the world is don't love it. Very much of the V4 RS, the very traditional. And myself, I'm on the other side, and I reckon that Y1 RS is just dope.
That's because you're riding S5, mate.
Oh no, it's like the evolution
like going
of
fast.
the S5. You know what I mean?
You like going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. There was a lot of chatter online about the bike when they put out the first photos, and lots of people saying, "No, it looks horrible, rah rah." But I was at TDU with Colnago. Obviously, we didn't have the Y1, but everyone I spoke to was like, "My God, it looks amazing! It's great!
Yeah,
can't wait to see it."
I think when it first came out, I was a bit like, "Oh God, what's that?" And now I've looked at it about 20 times, and now you see Pog on it, it's like, "Mate, I want one of those."
Well, the world champ colours make it stand out a bit more too.
In white, man, that thing is dope.
Yeah.
Hey, what can't that bike do though? He was sprinting against the sprinters at the UAE tour.
Yep. Then got piped. Hooroo.
and then he's piping everyone else
Yeah.
up the climb. So
Yeah.
hooroo back to them.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you go in the crossies with it? That thing
Mate.
handles the crossies like nothing else.
Just
You
leaned in it.
just pipe the whole of the GC bunch, and he's just holding on to the big boys up front.
Mate, how's his 100K break?
Yeah.
Oh,
with,
man.
with the bloody
With the
Hubbards.
rulers.
I think you just needed to get some threshold in, didn't you?
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to sit at zone 1 today.
That's like
I'll do
Lanton
zone
Rouge.
2.
It's like Lanton Rouge. Whenever you watch him, he's like, I don't even know what Pog's doing. Is he just doing a training ride? This
Yeah.
tour was a training ride for him.
He's having a
100%.
play.
He was
He's having a
just,
play.
he was just there for zone 2 for half of the tour. He was just there.
If you're a pro watching that happen, surely that's demoralizing. Knowing that you're going flat out just racing and there's some dude up the road who's just treating it as a training day and just flogging everyone.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, and you hear the stories of the young guys that go over and try and mix it up, and they have trouble even keeping up or even holding the wheel, and he's off the front chilling.
Just at 150 beats a minute,
Yeah.
If that.
having a jolly.
Yeah.
Off for a jolly.
We're very Irish today. And, mate, obviously there's a truckload of products on the website, but have you got any favourites that you like to check out in your shopping cart yourself?
Yeah, well, going down to TDU, I needed a bike bag. It's not very exciting, but I tested out the Elite Borson bag,
Okay.
and I've had the Chicon before,
Yeah.
and it's great. But this one was really impressive. Yeah, I thought like it's got these nice finishes on it. You can fit 2 sets of wheels in it, no
Oh, wow.
problem. It has space for it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I was just surprised how easy it was.
It goes into a frame.
Yeah. It's like the same design as the Chicon, but it's just Elite's version of it.
That's cool. And like the weight of it, because like that's the biggest thing when you're traveling with
You're
a
already
bike.
12 kilos before
Yeah, and then
yeah.
you throw
I mean,
like your
one-
pump in there and bloody...
Yeah,
Dude, I
one
do
set of
charge
wheels and all my gear, and it was 22. So
Yeah,
it's
you're
pushing
right
it.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right on.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty good though. Yeah. And then like say you're doing like a road TT, throw the disc wheel in there
Yeah, I know.
and bloody all that sort of stuff.
Don't get me started on
You
those.
thinking about Pro Velo, mate?
Yeah, the boys.
Road bike TTs with disc wheels.
I reckon.
You can't do that, can you?
I don't know.
Can.
Don't think you can.
I don't read the rules.
Neither do a lot of the riders either, mate, with their kits.
Now, Freeds, we've heard what's in Elliot's shopping cart. What's in your shopping cart this week, mate?
Well, it's been a busy week, obviously, with the new partnership and
Yeah.
a lot of those products there sitting around in their warehouse. And I did think about what should I put in this week, but
Yeah. So there's something in there.
yeah, there's something in there. So
Let's play the music.
play
eh?
the music.
Ole, 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 go catch a freebie shopping cart.
Love it.
Thanks for that, Shawnee.
Every time.
It does get. Anyway, the three of us are on the table here, and I thought I'd slide this in because it's important for us, right? Jim, Bob, and I are doing GTY in a couple of weeks. So are you actually, Shawnee? But
Yep.
you're also doing 3 peaks next
Yeah,
weekend.
the week before.
To be
week
fair, nutrition for 3 peaks is probably more important than G2I.
Yeah, because you can't actually, you're not supported. So
yeah.
we've got 2 food drops, so we're kind of lucky. But I thought today we should talk about some nutrition.
Yep.
And
It's very fitting.
what our plan is,
Yep.
because there's obviously a lot of different options that you can run with. And really it comes down to 3 different things that you can do is drink, it's gels, and it's kind of like the harder foods. So your bars and some blockers and those kind of gels, if you will. And what the mix-up is that you want to take in terms of carbs, how does your stomach handle it? There's just so many things that, you got to put into to play here to actually get a successful end of the day, because it is your world 7 to 8 hours. Ours is 6.5 to 6.5-ish.
Yep.
There's a lot of carbs that are going to get smashed that day.
Oh, yeah.
But Sean, have you got a plan on your carb intake for the day?
I do. On Sunday, actually, I did a bit of a sim, like of my nutrition, and like I was doing like 120 grams an hour for that.
How'd you go? How'd that feel? The 120 grams.
Felt real good. Like I felt good all the way up into the 7th hour.
Wow.
So like I did a few sprints at the end and was cracking 1,000 watts. So
Well, that's big for you, mate.
yeah, I know. So
You never used to be able to do that.
back in C grade, maybe not.
Or when I was still riding. Yeah.
All right. So 120 for Shawnee.
Yeah, but like my stomach can handle a bit more. So like I wouldn't push it much more.
120, 30,
Yeah,
40.
120, 130. But the issue I found was I was getting sick of the taste of sugar
Yeah.
just in my mouth. So I actually had to stop off at a servo and grab a dirty sausage roll to
Yeah, just get some oil in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I won't be able to stop off on dinner's plane to get a sausage roll.
There is a bakery at Omeo. You could slide into there if you had to.
Boom.
Just like just get them. Just call ahead on the way down on the descent and be like,
just do an order. 2 o'clock, please.
Hold one out like they're holding a bid on.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I do know a few Uber Eats drivers that could get down there.
How much will that cost me?
Oh, mate. It's if the food actually arrives.
Yeah,
the real question.
Kurt's already eaten it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Shawnee's sim because we're digressing there a bit. Shawnee, my man, so what were you using on Sunday? Were you using mostly carb mix and gels?
Yeah, so like
any solid food besides the dirty sausage roll?
Solid food, I was just having like oat bars, muesli bars.
Okay.
I wasn't having energy bars as such.
Yep.
Lots of snakes, some gummies.
Love a dirty killer python.
Gels, obviously. Some caffeine gels, but not very strong caffeine. It would have been nice to have a bit more of a kick to it.
You didn't want the Tom Dumoulin stomach.
No. And then I just make my own maltodextrin fructose mix up with a fair bit of salt in it to replenish the sodium levels. But that's all just an experiment.
Finger in the air job.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, Freebs, you've potentially got something in your shopping cart this week that can help Shawnee out.
Yeah, I do.
Help bridge the gap there.
Yep. So there's a great new product in the market called Sturker.
yep.
And I tried that last weekend.
Did you?
And I got to the point where I was like, am I going to have too many carbs? Because these things are loaded with carbs. Like, I reckon, like, I've done a bit of research on them, and that they are like positioned from a carb perspective, like higher than any other brand. The drink mix comes in at 90 grams.
Wow.
With 150 caffeine in it, to your point earlier.
Jesus. That's rocket fuel, mate.
That is rocket fuel.
Could take that into work, mate. Skip your morning coffee.
Where's Kevy Biffinger?
Yeah,
Don't give him too many.
Poor guy. You can only have one of those a day. I think it says only have 2. And then their gels, the ones I was having were 50 grams of carbs. And,
wow. In one gel. 50 grams.
One gel. And then...
that's real handy for like carrying.
Well, half the problem is
gel.
one, carrying gels, 2, getting it out when you're racing or whatever.
Yeah.
You, like, traditionally, like I've done Grafton and Varel a few years back and using other brands where you might have 20, 25, 30 grams on a big one. And you're like, I was doing one every 20 minutes. So like you're fossicking around in your back, you got gels bloody leaking everywhere. It's just
the thing is,
bloody
like,
shit show.
In the race, nutrition's not at your forefront.
No.
Like you're racing.
You're holding the wheel, you're trying to attack, you don't. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on.
Then there's an attack going while she's reaching for a gel and you're like,
shit. It's hanging up your mouth while you've got the wrapper in there. Trying to breathe through your nose.
Even worse if you're trying to eat at the same time as someone's jamming it up the side of the road.
Like an old muesli bar that's all dried out.
Yeah, exactly. So 50 grams in a gel.
So
that's a game.
They also have these rice cakes bars that are like eating Cocoa Pops.
Yep.
And
I love Cocoa Pops.
It's like a bowl of Cocoa Pops, and you can actually whack the bar on the wrapper on your handlebar, and it opens the other end.
Yeah. Right.
So you don't have to even dick around with your fingers trying to take your hands off the bar and try and open it. So you can just literally tap it on the end of the bar and
take a few down with you.
Take a few down, yeah. So that's good. So now
that's something I really struggle with solid food is actually like a lot of the time breaking it out of the wrapper.
Well, it's too sweaty when it's in your back pocket. I've always had to, whenever I've raced, I've always cut the top off.
Yep.
You just slide it.
Pre-prepared.
Yeah. So that was a little trick I did.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the run now, mate?
Mate, I'm actually Ziploc bag gummy bears, or I'm Morden gels in the pocket. That's only race day. I don't I'm no carbs when I'm training. Let the body eat itself.
Well, you eat enough.
Let the body eat itself, mate. I have enough carbs during the week and on the weekends that it can eat itself.
And then, like, if things go west and you just bonk, you just accept the bonk.
Accept the bonk, or get on a lime scooter and get back to the car and go home and sleep.
Okay, you can always trust you for a funny comment.
So how did you carry the carbs, like the extra amount of carbs?
Well, funny enough, the night before I did duck in a couple of reds, which
standard.
Yeah, and I did go to Golden Boy, which is a great restaurant just in the back there behind Bunnings, but it is rather spicy. So
I have been there.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Anyway, I kept them down beautifully. No problems at all. So no, didn't have any problems with my guts at all. I was pushing, I was doing the 90 mix and then the 60 mix with a bar and a gel an hour. And, I'm pushing 150, 160. So it's a fair bit of carb. It's pretty tasty.
I mean, these guys are from out of the UK, and their whole ethos behind the brand is to a large amount of carbs that you can eat all day. That's where their all their research has gone into. What can we make that you can eat all day without losing that, or getting that issue with the sweetness flavor, and also being easier on your gut. So I mean, I've tried it as well. I mean, that's been my experience. I mean, I know everyone's different, and it does take a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, especially the mix, it kind of has like a coconut water flavor, I guess. Yeah,
so
it's hard
neutral.
to describe. Yeah,
Neutral?
very neutral. Yeah.
So it's not that little tarty kind of flavor that you get in other drinks.
And it's got a lot of caffeine in it. Can you taste the caffeine?
No.
Well, that's a big win in itself.
Here's a typical freebie move. I did the 60, which is just 60 grams of carbs, no caffeine, and there's a satchel with the 90 and the 150 grams of caffeine. I mix them up, and because they taste the same and they look the same, I couldn't remember which one was which. So I was like, oh, shit. So anyway,
Yeah, bloody Darren.
Yeah, the Darren move there. But again, that's what you do when you shouldn't be doing it after red wines the night before.
Exactly.
But
when are you going to learn, mate?
No, never.
Well, that probably leads us really nicely into our next segment.
It does, because we thought we'd do, for those playing at home, a bit of a video. We're going to do a blind tasting for the guys that haven't tasted this before. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, a blind tasting of 3 different drinks that are quite popular in the market. And we're going to see how they shake up, because I think the way they dissolve or don't dissolve in a lot of cases, Riley Sheehan's experienced that on the weekend with his particular product.
What happened there?
Mate, it just looked like it was clumped up
Glue.
Glue.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I saw a photo. It looked like
Looked-
glue.
it was hilarious.
Looked like off milk.
Yeah.
In your bidding.
And
Oh.
mate, honestly, you don't even have to shake the one I tasted. It just dissolves
Wow.
instantly. So we're doing a shake test, and then we're going to do a taste test.
Okay.
And we're going to flick over to YouTube to film this live. And we'll do a little summary when we come back from doing this little thing. So we're going to take a break for a second, but don't go anywhere, because we'll roll it together. And we're going to do a little blind tasting for the boys.
Sweet.
Lovely.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, that was exciting. We've just done a side-by-side tasting. Kind of felt like a wine flight.
It was good, mate. I'm fully carved up now. I'm ready to roll.
You won't sleep tonight now, Shawnee. But that was a cool experience. And so for those playing at home, and we'll make sure you watch the video on YouTube. But we just mixed up the 3 different variations. We did a blind test, checked how they shook and dissolved, and then we tasted them all. So what was your finding, Sean? What was your favourite?
Well, what were the 3 products first?
We covered it, did we?
Yeah, well,
So-
we had the Sturker. We had
Sturker 90,
Sturker 90 without the caffeine.
correct.
The Beta Fuel, SIS,
80 grams.
80 grams. And then we had the
Morton 320, which has 80 grams also.
Okay. My favourite was the Sturker. Just went down so smoothly. I could drink it all day, I reckon. And just the clarity of it. It was just
It's like water.
like coconut water.
Yeah. And it didn't. There was nothing left in the bottle.
No, exactly. A close second actually was the Beta Fuel, but
On flavour.
But after the fact, half the product still stuck to the bottom of the bottle, so you're not getting the full amount into the drink. So
Go Riley.
yeah,
It hasn't mixed well.
exactly. And then my least favorite was the Morton, because it was a real thick consistency. So
It's like drinking a gel, hey?
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of that.
Normally you have water to wash down the gel. So
Yeah, exactly.
Just gel on top of gel.
Exactly. What do you reckon, Jim Bob? What was your go-to?
Well, a gel-on-gel situation would be the end of me in the middle of the race. So my least favourite was the Morton 320. I then was, from a taste perspective, split between the Beta Fuel and the Sturker. I thought they were both pretty good. But obviously, as we mentioned before, the mixability of the Beta Fuel is an issue there.
Yeah.
Because the other thing when you're doing that, like with your 3 peaks, for example, Like we'll have someone mixing for us so they can keep shaking for an hour, right?
Correct.
But you're going to be like, I don't need to rip
You're
the
going to
top
have a
off.
sore arm.
You don't need to rip the top off that thing, and within 3 seconds, have water in there, shake it up, and
Yep.
get going again.
100%.
Like there's minutes of time saved because that's how you do a good time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, probably worth mentioning. We put them in 500 ml bottles as well.
Yeah.
That's all.
that's actually a good point. So yeah, like 700 or
Yeah, because I'll be mixing in 750s probably.
Maybe
You're not
a litre.
running
Then
1 litres.
I get 1 litres.
I'll be running a litre and a 750.
Are you going to run one in your back pocket as well?
Nah, God, no.
No Hubbard spec?
No.
Just a banana instead.
Yep.
What do you think, Kurt?
Mate, I was very surprised because, as we all know,
You call a spade a spade.
as we all know, I'm the king of bonks.
You are the king of a bonk.
Nothing had changed in life, but that Sturker product, that was really good.
Number 1.
That was number 1 by a mile. That completely that's changed something. I think I might have to actually run it at Sydney Mara. Number 2, I think I did go the Morden.
Yeah, you did.
And that's because I really love the Morden gel. So I could sit there and just, while watching TV, have a Morden gel, I reckon,
You're
honestly.
joking.
No, dead serious.
You're
And-
outside your mind.
Along with your 2 pizzas.
Yeah,
Get the
correct.
calories in.
Yeah, correct, mate. Burning it all on the couch, hey. And number 3 was the SIS beta. I'd actually had one of those betas before. I tried to run it when I was cycling a lot back in the day, and I did have that problem where it just was clumpy at the bottom, and I was running it in the 750 ml bottles, and I was like, oh well, works for Chris Froome, it works for me. God, was I wrong there. It did not work because it just sat at the bottom, and I was like, oh geez, I must have gone through a bit of carbs here, and got to the end, empty bottle, and could still hear stuff rattling around,
yeah.
and it's just
Still in there.
glued to the bottom. So yeah, that was my theory.
Very nice, mate. Well, that's a long freebie shopping cart on the Backside
Yeah.
Poddy. Probably the longest one we've had, but it was fun to do a bit of a taste test and a blind taste and to go through the different products, tasting, but also the way they shake or dissolve. The important thing around that, obviously you guys, there's 80 grams minimum in those drinks, and there's also one with 90. So
It's probably worth mentioning that the 3 products we've used there are the market leaders in
course they are.
terms of getting
high carb.
high carb mixes for you to use. So there's plenty of other ones out there, but they don't seem to have as high a carb content. So we're really at the tip of the sword there, if you know what I mean.
I think it's great. So anyway, that's the end of the shopping cart today. I think we can play that. But before we do that, there is one small thing I wanted to share with our listeners. And obviously, with part of the partnership with Bikebug is they're very kindly, for the listeners, given us a discount code. So over the course of the next couple of weeks, we're going to do in the lead up to Grafton, because we'll wrap up Grafton and see how we actually went with our nutrition. There's a discount code that you can apply, which is Backside. And it's 15% off. 15% off all of the Sturkers products, so the bars, the gels, the drinks, etc.
Now that is good.
So it's Backside, spelt capital B, Backside.
No, just backside or one word.
Backside.
Lowercase will be fine.
Lovely.
15% off. Go get it. It's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it,
It's
and it tastes bloody
worth
good.
it. Well
Elliot
worth it.
should maybe actually get on board this rather than just, oh, that looks like good enough, I'll run that.
Yeah,
Well, that's what most people do, though, mate.
I know. I am a victim of that. I'm a victim of 30 gummy bears. That looks good enough.
Near enough's good enough.
30 gummy bears.
Yeah, brother.
Does the trick. But yeah, Backside for 15% off. Bikebug, get on it.
Let's jump into some local racing from last week.
Yeah,
We
well,
spoke about it earlier, but
We've pretty well covered it all off, I reckon.
Yeah, I
we
guess
had
so.
Muzz, Declan and Maxi were off the front.
that's it.
Joel Dodds.
Freebs blew himself up.
Joel Dodd's third at
No, Freebs didn't blow himself
Second,
up.
mate.
Yeah. He
Still got there. Nick
he-
Pedler got third.
held the shoe. Bloody...
Cobra 9 still filling up the podiums at the moment.
And then Tandem cleaned up on Sunday.
Yeah,
sure did.
Yeah, it was a pretty average showing. But Gold Coast are going to reassess everything for next year and hopefully
Get a few more out.
get a few more people interested. So, which is good. But this weekend we've got the Queensland Crit Series round 1 at Ipswich on Friday night under lights.
Oh, yeah.
Then we've got the Muzz Solaire Super Crit on Saturday afternoon, evening. And then we've got round 3 at Nunda on Sunday morning. So not much rest between the races.
Yeah, shame
on
it's
Saturday,
the
Sunday.
Cobra 9 training
Training
weekend
camp.
this
Oh, is it?
weekend. Yeah. But just on that, we had Pro Velo on the weekend, and
Mate, you guys went real well.
Tour of
Tassie.
Taz was epic.
Yeah.
I mean,
was the Cobra 9 group chat
Oh,
going
man,
off?
it's still going off.
oh man, they're very frothy. down
How's
there.
Whitey? Is he
Oh.
still drunk?
He hasn't. I don't think he's come down from it yet.
I think he's adopted Ollie Sims as his what, second, third, fourth son. After Reese as well. He adopted Reese way back, didn't he?
He did well though, mate. Like he got third in under 23s, fourth overall for the weekend. And the whole boys just did a phenomenal effort. Top was it 3 in the top 13? I think it is.
Yeah. So
That's incredible.
Pretty impressive. Second in teams.
Sammy Jenner was there, Benny Carmen, Ollie was there, Jake had a great ride, Christian rode well, Liam did well.
And Rowan as well.
Yeah, Rowan.
He had to get down in the crit, got back up and finished top 10.
Didn't he finish 5th or 6th in that chaotic sprint? Like,
And he was cramping like mad apparently afterwards, and then got up and did the time trial.
Yeah.
And was just like cramping before he even started it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like it's pretty impressive.
and then on Sunday there was video footage of him on the front of the Pello, absolutely hammering into the bottom of the final climb, just rinsing it.
Yeah.
Man, very cool to see. But Lockie from Tandem did really well. I
did.
saw.
Yep.
He had a great ride.
And so did Ryan Osh. He finished only 3 minutes behind Jack on Sunday.
Oh man,
So that's sensational, mate.
The mountain goats.
Yep.
the level of Pro Velo is unbelievable at the moment. Hey,
Yeah.
like they're athletes. That Zach Marriage is an absolute gun.
Mate, podiumed everything.
Just
Just didn't get the top step.
yeah.
Weapon.
Anyway,
There's
He
been
missed
more-
out by 1 second.
So
I watched
unlucky,
that.
eh?
I watched that post race interview last night, and he was just saying, "Oh, I'm going to be thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Where could I've made that 1 second back?" But
He's such a good dude, though. He actually follows the Backside Poddy. So
Hey.
shout out.
Little
Zach.
shout out.
crazy that he's basically Team Brennan's biggest rival, and he's just riding for himself basically under Butterfields. But
Oh, but Butterfields have a decent team. Like they're strung together, an all right team. So
fair enough.
yeah. So bloody the Backside was going off this week, boys.
mate, he was going off this morning.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that next week, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
690 people tackled the segment last week. That's ridiculous. I don't think I've seen numbers like that before. But we had a PB by the Rhodesian.
Who's that?
Don't know. But he did it in like a group of 30. Did a decent stalk on his ride.
No power.
No power.
Raw dogged it.
Cruising with that heart rate, 155 for a 650.
That's quick.
Is he holding onto a car or someone else's seat post or something?
I think he needs to.
Put some power on there.
I think he needs to put some power on there. The
Needs to
Rhodesian.
be validated.
Or he needs to jump on Bikebug and add a new heart rate monitor to his card.
At least a power meter.
Or a power meter. And then we had Flynn Taylor straight after. Was there a UQ crit on Saturday? There was.
Yeah.
Mm.
He went to Coother and busted out at 723
That's quick too.
after the UQ crit. So 362 watts, 180 beats per minute. His heart's ticking. And Joshy Smith for a 733. Freebs, you're up there, fourth fastest for the week.
I
not
thought
quite top three.
I thought I'd get top 3. I really did.
Did you put it? Did you ream it?
Well, as you can see, I've got no heart rate or
On the e-bike.
power data. So
Tell us about it, Freebs. Tell us about your little
I'm slightly-
lash on the backside.
I'm slightly dirty, hey, because my Garmin, an 840 solar, so not that old by the way, has just decided to do an update on Saturday morning by itself, and it updated the GPS settings, and now the speed doesn't even work half the time. So I ride around at 0.
I saw you got a trophy around Muzz this morning, actually.
Yeah, that's courtesy of that. It's either doing 0 or 100 k's an hour.
71.3 k's an hour. on
Mate,
the
keep up.
backstraight.
Hold the shoe.
Someone flag that, please.
So, mate, I'm dirty on the Garmin. I really am. But anyway, so that was recorded off my phone as a bit of a. I'll get the distance and then I'll get the power off because I'm still getting power off the Garmin, but just no distance or speed.
Can you not just get a bit techie and
So
put the old firmware back in there, mate?
I tried. If anyone can help me with that, that'd be awesome. But no, I did look at that, and I have sat on hold all afternoon as well. So,
really?
mate, if someone from Garmin's listening, I'm coming for you.
Going Liam Neeson on him.
Oh, mate, good luck.
Well, we'll wrap the ladies up. Nifty Naz again. She's always here. 1028, 219 watts. Bloody thanks for coming. Just cruising. And then Liz Heppel, 1033. back again, and then Britt Dutton
Again.
10:47. So well
Carbon
done.
copy of last week.
Yeah, well done, well done, girls. It's good to see. So, but yeah, there was some action on the mountain this morning from all accounts. So we'll debrief that when we catch up next, I reckon.
I think so.
I'm going to bring back another segment, one of the old ones from the past, Jim Bob, next week.
Yeah, mate. We'll probably talk about the cyclist stack. So a stack is
Not falling off your bike.
no, it's not. It's well understood in the gym industry where you stack a whole lot of supplements on top of each other to maximize your
Legal ones.
recovery. So
Gains.
yeah, we'll talk about that next week. The cyclist's stack as opposed to the bodybuilder's stack.
Very good. Well, that's a wrap. Just want to say thanks to Elliot for being a host tonight. We're down here at the amazing warehouse at Bikebug. We've done that kind of cool side-by-side tasting, which will pop up on YouTube, so everyone can have a watch of that. It's a bit of fun. And that's it for the week, guys?
Yeah, it's been a great episode.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for your support.
We'll see you guys next week.
Ciao.
Yes.
500 watts, please.